So everyone's favorite actor, Pedro Pascal, unfortunately suffers from anxiety. And today we're going to be taking a look at this clip because it is a very, very interesting clip that we have to talk about. Pedro Pascal suffers from anxiety and calms himself by holding Vanessa Kirby's hand. If you're like me, then maybe not me, because YouTube, I would never suggest such a thing, okay? But maybe you might be shaking your head at this. We're going to be talking about why that might be and what the internet has to say about this, because there was a little bit of faith restored in the replies over here. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with 20 YouTube channels. Let's watch this video together, and we're going to leave it on mute because it's just Sabrina Carpenter's music. So this poor man suffers from anxiety and just has to hold the hand of a pretty girl, okay? Here we go. Oh my god, I'm so anxious. Oh my god, I'm so anxious. Oh, look at that. She's making him feel better, right? And shockingly, there was a lot, well, I'm not so shockingly, there was a lot of replies over here being like, oh my god, that's so sweet. Oh my god, look at them. Oh my god, she's so caring. Oh my god, he's so real with himself. That type of stuff. But there were also some comments with, perhaps little common sense, because, and I don't know how else to say this, guys, because it's something that guys see through, because we know the behavior of men. What is very, very, very likely is this man just wanted an excuse to touch this woman. You could be holding hands with anybody. Why'd you choose the prettiest girl in the room? It's always these types of guys, right? And I don't mean like anybody, anything about like who Pedro Pascal is, but I mean like, the guys hiding behind the anxiety, the guys behind of like, yeah, I'm the biggest defender of women's rights. Let's go. It's oftentimes these people who have the biggest, skeletons in their closet, so they need to overcorrect for something that they've typically done. And I'm not saying, okay, I'm not saying it's gone that far. It's just like, that's the type of behavior that you need to raise your, alarm bells for. The guys that always sit down and talk about like how disgusting men are and things like that, and especially behavior like this, people looking for any excuse to touch a woman. And you know what? I don't like this, because the girl probably has no idea. She probably has no idea. Oh my god, the poor man suffering from anxiety, when in reality, like, there's a lot of people who, men know men's intentions, and what men want to do and what creepy men want to do is they want to touch girls. I'm not saying that this is the case for Pedro. I'm just saying that this is the type of behavior that perhaps we could use in an example that we need to raise our alarm bells about, okay? We just need to be careful whenever some guy has to do this type of stuff. And honestly, like, I watch this video and I'm like, I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing. But of course, it's not just about what I think. Let's take a look at what people had to say about this entire situation. Hey, I have to hold your hand because anxiety or something. Or yeah, just wanted to hold your hand. Just want to hold the pretty girl's hand, It's insane, man. But this is also an interesting point, too. There's a huge difference between an actual diagnosis and what these whiny celebrities do, emotionalizing every little thing just to appear fragile, special, vulnerable, and conveniently always on camera. It could be a case of that as well. I personally believe, and no, I don't personally believe YouTube. I'm very grateful to be on the platform over here, okay? I'm very grateful. Some people would believe that he just wants to touch the pretty girl, and he's, weaseling his way into doing so, okay? Male feminists are mostly predators who pretend to be allies. Male feminist, and it's a man with anxiety needing holding a woman's hand to make him feel at ease. Yeah, it's most, and I've said this in a recent video, guys, most normal men just respect women. Most normal men love women. Most normal men will not hurt women and want the best for them. But these guys that sit down and they're like, yeah, let's go, male feminists, are just looking for ways to get inside your pants. It's a very, very difficult pill to swallow for some people, but that's the accurate truth, okay? For most people. Why does he never grab his male co-star's hands? Yep. Because male hands cause anxiety. It's that simple, though, right? It's that simple. Why aren't you grabbing, like, the ugly girl's hand? Why aren't you grabbing the hand of your male co-star? Why? You can grab the hand of anybody. But yeah, let's do the most beautiful woman in the room. Holding hands with a beautiful woman can cure me as well. Yeah, guys, I'm suffering from a little bit of anxiety. I'm suffering from a little bit of anxiety, and only holding on to titties will make me feel better. Can anybody help me? Can anybody help me? My poor anxiety. It's disrespectful to people who actually suffer with disorders. Really, like, the problem is I have such a difficult time believing this type of stuff. He's a celebrity. He's used to being in the spotlight. What are you anxious about? What could it possibly be? You have people loving you online, you have people hating on you online, and you've had that for years. I would imagine you're pretty secure if you're an actor. It's just my thoughts, okay? I'm not comfortable with this. They're not in a relationship. He is intruding in her space, and his problems are unfortunate, but no one's issue than his own. If anyone who had a 9-to-5 did this at work, we would all know it is creepy. She's on stage and needs to perform. Yep, that's true. That's actually a good point. Could you imagine, like, if I went to work tomorrow and was like, hey, I have anxiety, let me hold your hand. And I know that there was a reply down there, let me go back to it. I know there was a reply down there like being like, I consent, and Twitter says I don't. When it comes to celebrities, there are just things that like, you know behind the scenes. And I'm not saying like I know behind the scenes, like I'm not saying like I've experienced this, but it's not difficult to see that like for somebody with like the status of Pedro, you would need to be on his good side no matter what. So that's why like the alarm bells are raising, like maybe she wouldn't be uncomfortable with this type of stuff, you know? A-list, an actor, but still crippling anxiety. Do you guys not see the flaw in this? Who's actually buying this? That's what I'm saying. And it's very important to note, it could be true. It could be. I'm not saying this is a 100% type thing. It's just a little convenient, let me say. I suffer from anxiety and need to calm myself by putting a... That's the vibe it gives off. You know? I know, like, it's a joke. But, come on. Like, that's what most men think about when they see this type of stuff. He's groping her and she grabs her hand to make... Really? She grabs her hand to make it stop. Let me see. Let me see this clip. Let me see this clip again, okay? Let's see. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting... Huh. I didn't even notice that. Oh my god. Come on, man. Could that poor girl... Oh my god. I didn't even notice that. Look at this. He's feeling her whole arm and she grabs his hand to make it stop. And I know someone's going to be in the replies of this video being like, oh my god, maybe that's a signal. Maybe they talked about it before. It's like, okay, if I rub your arm just like this, it means I'm suffering from anxiety and I really need to hold your hand right now. Nah. I have to be careful. You got to be careful, okay? Using this excuse on random women I meet. You know, like, at what point is it okay, man? What point is it not okay, man? Groping women's tits because I have anxiety and helps me calm down. That is... But this is the thing. This is the thing. This is men know men, right? You ever sit down and like you have your boyfriend who doesn't like you, like your friend who's a guy? We know the intention of men. Most normal men look at this and go, are you sure you're not just trying to touch this girl? It's a ploy to make women feel bad and give him some kind of comfort and sympathy while he gets to touch women with some kind of excuse. Why isn't he doing this to men too? Yeah, because he's practicing a sneaky effort game. Yeah, and unfortunately, it rarely works, man. It rarely works, but some people are okay, which is like, hey, I get to touch this girl. Is this a new version of that one boy in high school who tries to forcefully hug every girl way too often while playing it off as just being friendly? Yeah, where my hug at? Oh my god, Sophia. Where's my hug? Where's my hug? Hey, my anxiety. Hand, please. Can we walk together? My anxiety. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Could you give me a kiss? I have really bad anxiety. You know, tongue to tongue kind of makes me feel better. You know, just the touch of another human being's tongue makes me feel a little bit better, you know? Thank you very much. I would appreciate that. Let's continue on. Sorry, I have anxiety. I will always be holding a bad bitch's hand or else I will have a panic attack. Yep. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, this entire world. It's... I can't sit here and I can't say like, okay, well, this guy probably did this because obviously there's no proof. It's just... Typically, when you see behavior like this, it is a red flag, and then there are skeletons in the closet. Speaking of men and women, though, we recently made a tier list video talking about the biggest lies that men tell women, and we're talking about, like, the male feminist stuff in there, so you can check out this video on screen right now if you'd like to. I'd love to have you over there. Thank you very much for being here and watching the video, everybody. Take care.